You want to swing wildly at the internet like you've got the new pill in your hand, but you keep getting dead battered. Find the movement you want with NordVPN. They are our protection against terrifying cyber threats and wide-battered geo-blocks. NordVPN will help you get through any rights restrictions so you can watch all the cricket you want. We aren't always happy with the wickets we're on. Sometimes we need a change. NordVPN can switch your virtual location so your IP address is ready to cash in. So if you need to get around the internet's rules, or I suppose in our case laws, select NordVPN. They can help you watch a game on a cheaper stream in another country. Give NordVPN the ball and let them penetrate all your vast internet issues. Because if you need a VPN, go Nord. Use nordvpn.com/Kimber to get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan plus 4 additional months for free. It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. You can also receive a 20-gigabyte daily data voucher. The link is in the show notes. Protect your computer like a big hitter is coming for you at nordvpn.com/KIMBER right now. This video was made in partnership with Hit Wicket. Stick that game in your pocket now.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 42 of the Crickpicks podcast. I'm Behram Qazi, who you can find at deafmango on Twitter. And with me to my right is Estelle Vasudevan. You can find her on Twitter at Estelle_Vasudev, the number 1. And to my left, as always, is Jarrod Kimber, who you can find absolutely everywhere. Now, if you're new to Crickpicks, what we do on this show is that we take any generic cricket category and we draft our top 5 for that category, top 5 each, in a snake-style draft competition, such that the order of picks goes 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. And sometimes what we do on this podcast is we will create a team of 12 or combine to create a team of 12, which is what we did in the last episode as well. That one was ultimate active female or women's T20 team, which we kind of botched. But this week it's similar. But not so much. I botched it. This week it's similar, but it's got a spin on it. So now it's a global active women's T20I team. And what that means is that we are not allowed to pick more than one female cricketer from a single country. And I am so happy that I have first pick for this because I am just going to ruin everything for you guys.
Oh no.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened. I would like to apologize to anyone who likes anything.
Yeah.
No, I mean, my player is solid, but I'm taking a big nation out and, it'll do me, or it'll augur well or bode well for me, when people are voting or whatever. Because I'm going to go Sophie Eccleston. It's the obvious one. It's staring me at it.
So she's been number one.
Oh, that's not actually a bad pick. I thought you were going, what did you call her?
Dimitri? I'm not going to pick Dimitri once
Not
again.
Dimitri.
Oh my God, imagine he went Mandana again. I kind of feel like now if we did a podcast on like 1920s leg spinners, he'd be like, so Shruti Mandana is actually...
Now, Sophie had to be my first pick.
Yeah.
We can probably slot her in at 8 and 9 or 8 or 9. And like I said in the previous podcast, she's averaging under 15 in T20Is. She's going at less than run a ball. She can bowl in any phase of the game. She does not go for runs. She is great at targeting the stumps and she'll slide one through you and you'll be like clean bowled next thing you know. I've been mad impressed with her. I think she is the best spinner in contemporary cricket and definitely or arguably one of the best slow left armers of all time. So yeah, that's my first pick.
Yeah. I mean, she's been number 1 pick in 2 straight women's.
Yeah.
She's clearly the Bumrah of Crickpicks and women's cricket, right? Like it's just like, it makes sense.
England is out, so big nation gone.
That's fine.
I don't think that's actually that controversial because she's clearly England's best player, right? And there isn't any other spinner who can match her. So not terrible, Behram.
Not
I'm
terrible.
going to redeem myself. This is the
You can't ask for
Surprise.
anything more than not terrible.
Okay, my pick. So, you know what? I'll go with Beth Mooney since we kind of messed up in the last one and left her out. I think there are a few Australian players that you kind of can consider. One is obviously Perry with her record over the last couple of years. Really immense, right? With bat and ball. But Beth Mooney is almost from another planet. She's been scoring so much of runs. Very hard to get out, can bat anywhere. So I think she's pretty good pick as my number 1.
Yeah, no, it's good that she's gone this early finally in one of our podcasts.
She's gone from 12 to 2.
Yeah.
I should say
Overcompensating.
this. I never said this before, but she was the one I was genuinely wondering whether I should pick ahead of Eccleston, right? Like I didn't think that hard, but she was the only other name I had. And like somehow you
And then we
all
didn't
moved
pick
her to
her.
12. Okay, I'm going to... Okay, who's left? Weird. It's a weird order now. So we've lost Australia and England. So that gives me India, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, West Indies players straight away, doesn't it? So
Yep.
who's the best players to take off the board to annoy both of you? Because I used to do this to try and pick the best team, of course, but then we realized that Behram was not doing that. Although in the last one, we still don't know what he was doing in the last one. I think I'll go Risha Ghosh as my as our keeper.
Yep.
And then I will go. I've got South Africa as well, don't I? I will go Marazan Cap then as our all-rounder.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
I like your pick. So I had a perfect 12, guys, and thus far we've hit every single one,
Everyone.
like 4 out of 4.
Okay.
Risha Ghosh, of course, explosive as hell, striking at 140 and averaging nearly 29 in T20s. And of course, Marizan, sure, there is that whole element of if she's still like peak Marizan or not, but who else would you pick from South Africa? And someone who also gives us balance, right? I think the balance bit is really important over here.
Yeah, she's still probably like one of the best number 6s in the world, isn't
Yeah.
she? So we're not losing anything, even if her bowling's not quite at 100%.
Yeah. Okay, Estelle.
Okay. So we have Sri Lanka, West Indies, Bangladesh, UAE,
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yes.
Okay, so there are kind of obvious picks.
Yeah.
There's one very
I'll just pick
obvious one.
someone who we didn't pick from last time and take Bangladesh off the table. I go with Marufa Akhtar, one of
Okay.
probably a future star, right? A really good quick bowler. As you said, like we don't have that many specialist fast bowlers in that kind of top level. I think she's really, really good. She's had some really big scalps as well in the games that she's played so far. And if I look at Bangladesh, I mean, they've got a couple of batters maybe who you could have fit in, but given that it's probably going to be easier to pick batters from the other teams, I think Marufa is a good pick for this one.
Marufa is a good young pick, but my pick from Bangladesh was a leg spinner. So
Same.
you have made
I-
things interesting.
I think you've made things interesting, and it will come clear later why I think that. But I think when we start to pick players from other countries, there is a bunch of bowlers, specifically seam bowlers from one part of the world, of which we can pick 2 or 3 and pick up a whole. And you've now picked a seamer from Bangladesh, which does completely screw everything up.
Yeah, it definitely, like, the composition of the team that I was building has gone to the shitter.
You're welcome,
But-
Behram.
Yeah, but I have
Has someone done a really bad pick that's annoyed you?
It's not a bad pick, but it's annoyed him.
yes.
No,
It's
but
not a
I
bad
mean-
pick, right?
But honestly,
No,
like,
she's a good cricketer.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Marufa, but Rabia was the one that I was kind of
Yeah.
inching towards. Anyway, I'll make life easier for you guys and pick some, an obvious one and then a not so. Oh well, the not so obvious one is also kind of obvious because there is only one cricketer that I can think of from Ireland right now that deserves to be picked in this team, and she
yeah.
can bat first drop. She can also roll over her arm, a handy right arm medium bowler. Let's go Orla Prendergast for my second pick.
Yeah.
She can bat, at 3, and she's
They
been a
actually-
phenomenal
Pick as
touch.
well, right? Not
Yeah, they actually have a couple of other players, by the way.
Yeah,
Like
But-
Amy Hunter, the keeper,
Yeah.
and they also have is it Arlene Kelly?
Arlene Kelly, yeah.
So
Gabby
I
Lewis
mean,
as well, yeah.
I think Orla Prendergast is a proper player and is going to be an absolute star in women's cricket. But I'm just saying that it's quite interesting that Ireland do have a couple of players that are coming through to pick from.
I mean, Orla
Yeah.
is still only 22 years old and she's been in terrific touch. She just snapped up a deal at the Women's Big Bash as well, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong. which was quite historic. And I mean, I want her to rise and rise. I actually watched her for the first time when Ireland toured Pakistan, and Ireland beat Pakistan in Pakistan as well. So she was pretty good in that series as well. And plus, this takes Ireland off the table for us and also gives us a solid bat who can kind of bowl a bit. So yeah, I think I'm fine with that. And why waste time? I'm just gonna go and pick Chamari Atapattu, right? just take her and make life hard for you guys, because that's the super obvious one, and she can open the batting with Beth Mooney. And yeah, I mean, someone who is probably currently, if you look at Sri Lankan cricket, the biggest name in Sri Lankan cricket across genders. I would even go on to make that claim.
Yeah.
She was at the forefront when Sri Lanka, won the Asia Cup at home very recently, and she has been piling on the runs like crazy for a while now. It's been a good 2-3 years since she hasn't really looked back, and she's finally getting those contracts as well in franchise T20 cricket. And I mean, she's towards or has approached the twilight of her career. But who else would you guys pick from Sri Lanka, right? When you've got Chamari available?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question though? Just this is a Crickpicks question, right?
Okay.
Why did you pick Ola Prendergast, who I think is fantastic, ahead of Chamari Atapattu in an order?
I was excited. To pick Orla. Yeah. I was like, yes, I get to pick her.
Okay, fair enough. Because that was the only thing. I was like, she was definitely going to go. One of us was going to pick her. It just seems like it's like one of the most informed players in the world, and a player from Ireland who just got a Big Bash contract. And I'm going to go with the player from Ireland who just got the Big Bash contract.
Yeah, well,
Especially when you had back-to-back picks, right? So you weren't in danger of losing all
well,
out.
not gonna
I was
lose
going
Ola at
to
all.
pick Rabia Khan because that was going to be such a great wrist spin fix, and now we're going to have to think about that in the future. But
Oh, we don't
how
actually
many-
have a wrist spinner.
I've got a wrist spinner. By the
Okay,
way.
great, lovely.
I've got the most hipster, ridiculous wrist spinner. If we need it for later on, I don't want to get ahead. Estelle.
Okay, so we need a number 4, right?
Yes.
There's
Okay.
one very obvious one.
I don't know what's obvious to you, Behram. That's
Hey.
the problem.
Nice, subtle
This
throw of
podcast-
shade. Love it.
Crickpicks has really turned these last couple of episodes from just everyone being together and friendly to this is evil now.
Okay, I'll go Amelia Kerr.
There it is.
Was that the obvious pick? I don't
Yes.
know if, to be honest, there are probably better Kiwi players to pick, but I think for the position and the fact that she offers a leg spinning option, I don't think. You guys might disagree, but I think she's a good pick as that wrist spinning all rounder.
Yeah, no, solid.
This now gets really weird though. This team, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. How many countries do
So
we have left, Jarrod?
we need a 7, 9, and a 10,
Yeah.
And a 12,
right?
No?
Yeah, and a 12.
Yeah.
So we have Pakistan.
Because we don't have West Indies yet.
Oh, yeah,
And the
and
most
we can't pick
obvious
the
West
obvious
Indies
West
player.
Indies player.
Now doesn't fit into this side unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's fun. There's one of the big associate players who we kind of have to pick, I think, anyway. But I don't know. We might going to have to change the batting order to fit her in. She's going to have to bat at 7 now. So I'll go with Catherine Bryce at 7.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, in this side, she would come in ahead of Marizan, I think, in this situation. She will come in. And then it's just madness of what we do next. Okay, so I'm going to go with Lillian Uda of Nigeria, who in the last 2 or 3 years has a bowling average of 6 and is a seamer from Nigeria. There are so many African female bowlers with ridiculous record. No woman in Africa has ever made a run, from what I can tell. They just all there's hundreds of them. Janet Mebabazi has a bowling average of 12.84, and there's another one as well. I stopped listing them in my thing eventually because I was like, there's too many seamers here. But I'll go with Lillian because her bowling average is 6, everyone. Her bowling average is 6, and I think that gets her in most teams in the world.
Yeah. Can you tell us what our team looks like right now? Because I kind of am curious to know what spots are left and what countries we have
7
available.
and 9. Sorry, only 9,
Yeah.
right?
No, 7
9
and
and 12.
9
and
and
12.
12.
Yeah.
No, 7. Oh, no, yeah,
7
because I
is-
put Catherine Bryce in, didn't
Yeah,
I?
you put
Yes.
Bryce in, right? So
Yeah, so we need a number 9. And just this is how weird it's got. We don't have a Pakistani player.
yeah, I'll pick
don't
a
have a
Pakistani player.
We don't have a West Indian player.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
don't have a West Indian player, but I can pick. I can pick a Pakistani player.
Okay, then do it.
Do it.
Okay,
Estelle.
so number 9, we have 2 quicks, right? And we have Marizan,
And we have
who can
Marizan
bowl,
as well.
and
yeah.
Ola. Okay, so I'll go with another spinner then. Sadia Iqbal from Pakistan. Probably their most successful bowler over the last couple of years. Very economical. Has an economy of 5.48 over the last 2 years. Strike rate of 19. Really tough. I think if you're looking at conditions that we'll see during the World Cup, then she's probably one of the most dangerous bowlers for Pakistan, right? Because she can keep things tight and also pick up wickets.
She can bowl
It's-
at the
I
deaths
thought it's
and in the power
quite
play.
quite difficult with Pakistan to pick a player because they haven't had like standout players who would
She
make a
was the one
World
on my
11
list
at the
as well.
moment. So
Yeah.
Sadi Iqbal.
The only possible caveat over here is that now we've got 2 slow left armers, right?
That's what I was going to say.
That's the issue.
Yeah, but we have off spinning options as well. So I think
and we have one
Do
wrist
we? We
spinner,
have
right?
one off spinning
We
option.
have one,
We have
yeah.
3 people spinning the ball away from right-handers, which I suppose in women's cricket is correct, but does feel a little bit weird from that perspective. But there we go. I mean, this has been. I just think that we don't help ourselves.
Yeah. We were going on track for this one, honestly. It was going great.
Yeah, for about 3 or 4 picks, everything was great, and then it just fell apart.
Also, like if we had, some options or
Who are we
slots in
picking
for
as
like seam
12?
bowlers, if we had like another seam bowler slot in, we could have got Fatma Sana from Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
That was
So
an
I was
option.
considering both of them, right? So either Iqbal or Fatima Sana. But
Yeah.
since we have so many medium pace options in this side,
So I'm left with the 12th pick, right? Which is easy. I thought that Isha Oza would have been on the table, but since I have the West Indies available, I'm just going to
Yeah.
go Hayley Matthews, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the
Yeah.
obvious thing to do.
Yeah, well,
I was
mean,
really
that's-
excited about Isha Oza. I thought like this is going
Yeah,
to be
me
my
too.
great pick number 12. But
Yeah.
poor girl has missed out.
So Isha Osler isn't even on my list. Where's she from?
UAE.
UAE. I think
Oh,
she's
of course. Yeah, no.
one
she-
of the
yeah.
best opening bat. Like she's got really good record over the last 2 or 3 years, right? She made a lot of runs. Obviously, a lot of the runs are against associate teams, but Sri Lanka were almost knocked out of the World Cup because of her. She played an incredible innings in the qualifiers. I was
She's
picking
averaging, like-
her as my 12 as well.
Yeah. She's averaging 30,
So-
around about 30 in T20Is, and she is that dependable bat in the UAE. If not for Isha Oza, the UAE would just be even more crap than they already are.
I found this incredible one when I was talking about the wrist spinners. Her name is Carrie Chan, and she plays for Hong Kong, and she's listed as left arm wrist spin, which I just hope this is correct and that she is a left arm wrist spinner. But she has a bowling average of 12. And so that was the one that I wanted to. That was my massive. I mean, I went pretty hipster with a Nigerian seam bowler with a bowling average of 6, but I could have actually doubled down and brought in a left arm wrist spinner from Hong Kong by the name of Chan, which that works on about 83 different levels when you think of the hit. Incredible that we've gone from. Think about the term that we used to have for left arm wrist spinners, right?
Yeah.
And how it's not only racially profiled, but also gender profiled. And now we have an option of a Hong Kong left-arm spinner for female version. I just thought that was really cool, but I couldn't. There wasn't really a place, and I felt bad for all the incredible African seam bowlers who were taking 1 million wickets over and over again.
I had another really hipster pick in mind. The Thai all-rounder, Chanida. I can't say her last name. It's really hard, but she was another option.
Is it Putawong?
No, Suthi Ruang.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, their names are pretty tough.
Yeah,
to
they
say,
are tough.
right?
But you know what? I think this is probably
I
a
love
pretty
that
decent
a
team.
Sri Lankan just said that out loud.
I mean, Sri Lanka.
No, but you're right. They
names
are
not that hard, right?
No, but
they?
I would. This is one of those things of like, it's funny. All these people will contact me and go, you've mispronounced this word wrong, this name wrong, and this name wrong. And I was like, when you pronounce most Western names, you pronounce them wrong. Like the thing about cricket, and you could throw football in this as well, is these sports are so global that like there is no way that any one person would be able to pronounce all the different names in cricket correctly. And then you have people who want their names pronounced incorrectly. Right? Like, that change the way. Like, there's literally 2 ways of pronouncing Marnus Labuschagne, right? Like, Labuschagne is a correct version of that, but he wants the more anglicized version of it. It's like, these names are ridiculous, but I just thought that was cool. All right, should we go through the list?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, our 12, actually. Oh, who's our 12? Haley comes in. I think we might be able to sneak her into this team.
Yeah, perhaps.
Maybe just slightly. Anyway, we have Beth Mooney, Chamari Atapatu, Orla Prendergast, Amelia Kerr, Risha Ghosh, Marizan Kapp, Catherine Bryce, Sophie Eccleston, Sadia Iqbal, Lillian Uda. Is it Manifa? Am I pronouncing that right?
Marufa.
Oh, it is Marufa. God, I've got to actually make these things slightly bigger so I can read any of them. Akhtar, and then Hayley Matthews. So what would we do in that side to... I'm trying to think of how we would move it around. Is Catherine Bryce maybe the one that comes out there?
Yeah.
And everyone drops one down?
And everyone else just drops a position down? Might be
Orla
the best
goes to 4. Haley slots in at 3, I suppose.
Probably.
Or I guess you can look at it as Hayley Matthews and Chamari Atapattu are basically the same player, right?
There's a bit of that
there's another way of doing it as well. If Hayley Matthews comes in as a specialist spinner ahead of Sadia Iqbal and then bats at number 8, seems like a waste, but hey, why not? There's an element that you could do that as well. All right, so the teams, the 4 players for each was Behram went Sophie Eccleston, Orla Prendergast, Chamari Atapatu, and Hayley Matthews. That's quite strong.
Yeah.
Estelle went Beth Mooney, Marufa Akhtar, Amelia Kerr, and Sadia Iqbal. And I went Risha Ghosh, Marizan Kapp, Catherine Bryce, and Lillian Uda of Nigeria.
I think I'm going to redeem myself, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to win this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did very well with the 12th. I still don't know why you have all that ahead of Chamari, and I'm hoping people vote against you for that, but it's very solid, your lineup there. And Estelle going 2 different hipster picks. Well, actually,
I didn't want to pick the same people I picked in the last one, right?
Yeah. No, I'm pretty
and
happy.
we had to give Mooney the position after.
Yes.
No, you did the right thing with Mooney, and we'd
Dimitri
like to.
Was sacked from the global team.
Was sacked. We would like to apologise to Beth Mooney and her family for what happened in the previous podcast.
Yeah. Anyway,
I actually, when I say that, people might get like, "Wait, what did they?" I just mean she didn't get picked in the original 11. That's all I mean.
Yeah, she was there in the 12. But anyway, you guys let us know how you would have done things differently and what your global 11 or 12 would have looked like and who you think amongst us 3 won this one. Hint, hint, it's probably going to be me, I hope. But anyway, that's it for this episode of Crickpicks. And just a quick reminder to everybody, you can go and visit this website, goodareas.co. Bookmark that webpage because that can be proved to be a one-stop shop for all the work that we do as part of this team, whether it be written content, podcasts, or videos. And we'll be back with another episode of Crickpicks soon enough. That is all for now. You guys have a good one, and goodbye.
If you make any content, Minvo Pro is the tool for you. Take your long format content and cut it and slice it for social media. This AI-inspired weapon will turn your one piece of work into so many clips. Try Minvo.pro now.